In this video, we are going to discuss about adjusted net present value. For traditional net present value, we use weighted average cost of capital, which is used as the discount factor to get your present value of cash flows. So what kind of assumption we make there is that the project is financed by same proportion of debt and equity as it is found in the capital structure of the firm. But one thing to be noted here is that this case might not hold good every time. Okay. Moreover, there will be tax savings due to borrowed funds because of interest payable, right? So these things has to be considered. What about the impact of debt financing? So after considering all these points, they have arrived with the adjusted net present value. This adjusted net present value is being arrived by three parts. The first part is the base case net present value, where the assumption is that the entire project is financed by equity alone. Okay, therefore we will be using the discount factor as the KE. So therefore your discount factor is equal to KE only considering your equity. The second step is about present value of tax shield is to be computed. Sorry guys, it is not net present value but it is present value. Sorry for the error, I just made a mistake here. You need not to find the net present value, you are going to find the present value in the second step. So this present value of tax shield is the part helps to evaluate the investment proposal after considering what? After considering the tax savings arised due to the debt financing. So guys, here the discount factor is your KD. Only you're going to consider the part of the interest percentage to discount your cash flows. Yes, step 3 is nothing but any other adjustments made in relation to the financing decision. Okay. So what can happen at the time of the financing decision? We may raise the equity, right? Or we may have incurred the debt. So that kind of adjustments like procurement cost of the debt or the equity cost, the issue cost, such other flotation cost will be considered here. Okay. So after doing all these three adjustments, you will be arriving with your answer, that is your adjusted NPV. So there are lots of conflictions that arise in net present value. So after ruling of all these conflictions, they have been found with the adjusted net present value, which is an advanced form of the net present value. Okay, let us move further guys. So with the help of an example, again we can able to understand this concept better. Let me read the question for you. Let the investment be rupees 50 lakhs. The cash flow for 8 years is rupees 10 lakh per annum. And your KE, that is purely of equity nature, it is 15%. The debt finance is rupees 24 lakhs and your KD, which is purely from the debt point, that is your interest, is considered to be 14%. This debt finance to be paid in equal installments. Okay, and the tax rate comes to be 40%. All these things are required to compute our adjusted net present value. Okay. We know we are in need of 50 lakh. This 50 lakh is financed through debt and equity. So already in the question they have provided that debt finance is of rupees 24 lakhs and equity is of rupees 26 lakh. They haven't provided. I'm just taking the difference. 50 minus 24 comes to be 26 lakh. Let us assume this is this equity part. 26 lakh is equity part. What about the issue cost? So I'm assuming that the 5% is going to be my issue cost. Okay. So what happens here is, guys, so I have to find my total equity. So let me say this 26 lakh is my 95%. And what is the 100%? Because this how I arrived this 95%? 100 minus 5% is my 95%. So 26 lakh is my 95%. Along with my issue cost, I should be getting my 100%. So let us find the 100%. So 26 by 0.95 will provide me with the total cost. 27.37 lakh, where 26 lakh is for equity and 1.37 lakh is for issue. So guys, what happens here is, this part helps you to understand the problem better. Let me explain again. So they have been provided us that we are in need of 50 lakh investment. This 50 lakh investment is being financed through debt and equity. So they have provided that rupees 24 lakh is the debt financing. So the remaining amount is going to be the equity, right? Yes. So this, apart from this 26 lakh, I may incur some flotation costs such as issue cost. So let me assume that 5% of my total equity cost comes to be the issue cost. So now I knew that this 26 lakh is my 95% because the 5% is my issue cost. So what happens here? I must be knowing my 100%. That is what my equity financing, right? If I compute that 100%, the 100% comes to be 27.37 lakh. So by bifurcating, this 26 lakh is purely of equity nature and this 1.37 lakh is of issue cost, that is your flotation cost. Now let us move further and do these steps one by one to arrive with our answer. So first step is nothing but your base case NPV. Base case NPV is the NPV under assumption that the project is all equity funded. Okay. So the discount factor is equal to KE. KE is nothing but 15%. What is the formula? As usual, same formula. Present value of cash inflow minus present value of cash outflow. I'm just going to solve the same. I'm just going to solve it step by step for your understanding. Follow these steps. So by substituting each value in the formula, I will be arriving with my base case NPV. So my base case NPV comes to be what? 5,12,000. It is negative. It is a cash outflow. It is not beneficial to us. Now let us move to step 2. Step 2 is nothing but present value of tax shield. The savings we made, okay? That arise due to what? Debt financing. The interest part we are paying, from that part we will be having some tax shield. We are going to find that. So let me do this step with an help of a tabular form. So we need all these informations, that is year, outstanding debt in equal installment, it is provided. So interest tax shield is at 40%. Your discount factor is to be taken at 14%. Okay, it is already provided in your question. Do remember, in first step you are going to take your KE, cost of equity. Here I am just going to take my KD, which is meant by cost of debt. So finally I will be arriving with my present value of tax shield. So what are the years? So the project tenure of the project is 8 years. So they already provided that the debt is paid in an equal installment. So 24, debt part is only 24, right? Out 26 is your equity part. So 24 divided by 8, it is 3. So I will be paying what? 3 lakh at the end of each year. So first, at the first year, at the beginning of the year, I'm just going to have 24 lakh, right? Yes. So the interest comes to be 14%. The same percentage is my cost of debt. So your tax yield is at 40%, right? After computing that, I will be arriving the tax yield of 1.344. So I'm just have to find my discounting factor using the formula 1 divided by 1 plus k the whole power n. So by doing everything, I will be having my present value of tax shield. Yes, I'm just doing the same step for 8 years. So it is 24 minus 3, 21, and 21 minus 3, 18. 18 minus 3 is 15. So at last, I will, at the end of the tenure, that is at the 8th year, I am just having my 3 lakh as outstanding. That's it, right? My tax yield is nothing but 40%. Out of interest, I should calculate that. So discount factor is simple. You can after putting the first calculation, you can use the equal to sign and just find every value, right? Yeah. So yes, I'm just arrived with my present value of tax yield and the total value is nothing but 4.032. Now we are going to find what? Now we are going to the last step. Step 3. Step 3 is nothing but any other adjustments. Yes, is there any other adjustment in this sum? Of course, because I made an assumption that 5% is of my issue cost, right? Yes. So out of 50%, 24 is your debt, 26 is your equity, and yes, we already made this assumption of 5%, which comes to be 1.37. So totally 27 lakh 37,000 is our total equity part, right? So this 26 lakh is being used in step 1. This 24 lakh is used in step 2. So finally, this adjustment of rupees 1.37 lakh is going to be used in our step 3. Simple, right? So by simply seeing this chart, you can able to analyze where and all we have to use the values. Yes. So the present value of cash outflow is going to be 1.35 because since it is happens in the first year, the starting of the project, so it comes to be 1.37 lakh. So adjusted NPV comes to be. Alright, from step 1, 2, 3 to get your adjusted NPV. So first it is base case NPV plus present value of tax shield. Finally, any other adjustments, right? Yes. So what is your base case NPV? It is of negative because it is a cash flow. So 5,12,000 plus present value of tax shield is of our benefit that it is a cash inflow, right? Yes. So I am just writing it as a positive without bracket. So any other adjustment is 1,37,000, which is again a cash outflow, which is our cost. So the adjusted NPV is 2,46,500. So will you accept the project? No, because it is resulting in what? Negative. So NPV should provide you with the positive answer. The same decision rule is to be followed here also. So by this, I'm just completing this session. So yes, in this video we are going to discuss about our last technique under discounted cash flow technique. So what is that? It is discounted payback period. It is similar to that of the payback period. The only difference is that we are going to find the present value of cash flow because you already know that these techniques consider the time value of the money. The first step is to determine the total cash outflow of the project. Mostly it will be your initial investment. The second step is to determine the cash flow after tax for each year if you're not provided with cash flow after tax. And the third step is to determine the present value of cash flow after tax for each year. And the fourth step is to determine your cumulative present value of cash flow after tax. So finally, you will be arriving your discounted payback period with the help of the interpolation formula. Simple, right? As same as that of the payback period. So let us study this with an help of an example. So let be the initial investment be 30,000. Your annual cash flow comes to be rupees 6,000. So you must be computing what? Cumulative cash flow. Under discounted payback period, cumulative cash flow is of very important. Okay, let us see what is the discount factor. Discount factor is nothing but 15%. Let us solve the sum, guys. So it is computation of cumulative present value of cash flow after tax. So what are the information we are in need of here? Cash flow, discount factor is at 15%, present value of cash flow is to be found, then finally cumulative discounted cash flow is to be found. So yes, number of years, that is tenure of the project is for 10 years. What are the cash flows? Same cash flow, it is 6,000 per annum. Even though it is 6,000 for all the years, you cannot use the annuity method because we are going to find the cumulative discounted cash flow here. So what is the present value of cash flow? So just follow the steps I've just done here. So finally, I must be finding my cumulative discounted cash flow. So yes, the discounted payback period is approximately comes to be 10 years. You can, since it is 30,114, because of the decimal point error, I just round off it and I just take the approximate value of 10 years. And yes, you can also use the interpolation formula to have your exact answer. So guys, by this we are just completing our discounted cash flow techniques Yes, and I will be moving to couple of concepts which is called capital rationing and social cost benefit analysis. By that we will be closing our study note 1.